Hey, Judge. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Man, you were fired up over the weekend.
Yeah, I was. I mean, you know, the clip that you played, when Jim Comey comes out and announces within 11 days of a federal election and one of the most historic elections of our time that he is reopening a criminal investigation, that is against Justice Department guidelines, FBI guidelines, and all that is fair and right.
So
he put his fingers on the scale. He's politicized the FBI and the Department of Justice.
But he
it's
found
wrong.
650. It's like finding a body in the street and saying, wait a second, I didn't find the body up until now.
Okay.
He found 650,000 emails. What do you expect him to do?
No kidding. Had he done a thorough investigation in the first place, he would have found this stuff. Had he done a thorough investigation, we wouldn't have been. We wouldn't have been. No, he should have taken Uma's joint laptop with her husband.
But
and don't give me this. Don't give me this hogwash, by the way, that it's just his. And yeah, of course her lawyer said. Are any defense attorneys going to say anything that is really truthful and that helps the truth-finding process?
Sure.
Here's the bottom line. The bottom line is this. This case should have been prosecuted. This is a violation in July. This is a violation of the federal laws. We all know that there was obstruction of justice. There was tampering. There was a destruction of no intent. Intent is not an element of the crime. I don't look. Jim Comey's a smart guy. That's why I'm so fired up. I work with him. I know him. This is not an intent crime, Jim. And, Jim, this is exactly the problem. Because she had this email server that is less secure than Gmail, not to trash Gmail, that's why this dirtbag pervert has our secrets on his laptop.
Alleged.
No, he is a pervert.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying he's a pedophile yet. Right. Okay, he's an alleged pedophile, but he is a pervert.
Am I the only one intimidated?
You know what? We had Ed Klein with us.
This is what he did for a living.
No wonder you host alone.
No, I know.
I've been getting yelled at. This is incredible. My son is clear for the first time all week.
Let me tell you, Brian, how about you host with me this weekend?
I would love to do that.
Okay, this weekend, Bill Shine, Suzanne Scott, he wants to host with me.
Who are those people?
All right. Buckle yourself in.
The people who sign your check.
We just had Ed Klein on, who's written the book Guilty as Sin. Essentially what he said, according to his sources inside the FBI, very close to Comey, Comey really sees this, the Anthony Weiner thing, as a do-over because he feels so bad that he blew it in July.
Sure, it's a do-over. It gives him a chance it gives him a second bite at the apple. And with respect to the investigation, now he's got the ability to go forward, but he doesn't have the Department of Justice, Jim. Here's the mess up. DOJ told you not to do it, so how do you access a grand jury? Jim Comey's with the FBI. He doesn't call up and say, can you arrange a grand jury for me? We already know Loretta Lynch, who met with the husband of the target and who was promised to be AG if Hillary wins, is not going to give him a grand jury.
Can I give you the good news?
Is there any good news today?
Yes, they're going to find a way, but the Department of Justice, FBI, combining software, combining forces, they're going to get through most of these before election day.
And then what?
And then we're going to get the answer.
What, you really believe that?
Are you a superhero? Look at you.
Judge,
Are you going to fight for him?
ask you, what do you think about Donna Brazile? She was feeding these questions to Hillary Clinton before the debate in the primary. Now she resigned from CNN. CNN saying that, you know, they don't support it, what's going on. Do you think she needs to step down?
She needs to step down as the head of the DNC, just like her predecessor stepped down. And you know what? For all the trashing of WikiLeaks, at least we're getting some of the truth right now. Here you have a woman who pivots to, I'm a Christian woman, don't persecute me, and then doesn't tell the truth. All right? I mean, you've got Donna Brazile, who at least on 2 occasions got the questions in advance of a town hall or a debate, gives them to Hillary. Hillary then, you know, marches forward with an answer, and we're all like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. No, it isn't cool. Yeah. This is America. This is not, you know, some kind of, you know, it's not.
Banana Republic.
Banana Republic.
If you were CNN, you'd be upset right now.
CNN doesn't care. They said we felt uncomfortable. Really?
Sure.
How about you do an investigation? You find out where she got the question from, who gave her the question, when the question was gotten, and you go out and you apologize to your listeners and say this whole town hall was a fraud.
You know, if they did do an investigation, we really should hear from Jeff Zucker, who's the head guy over at CNN. He's the guy who actually hired her and ultimately had to fire her. What was going on there?
I don't know.
Or what about Bernie Sanders?
We don't know.
Bernie Sanders is still campaigning for her, even though it could have changed his fate.
You know, it's the millennials at this point who have an opportunity to make a statement. They got messed up in terms of their nomination going to Bernie, and now they got messed up again with Hillary Clinton getting the questions before the debates. Millennials are the one who really got taken here by the Democratic Party.
And he had much stronger African-American support than she did, and what they need from Bernie, the millennials and African-American support. You wonder if Bernie's going to say, I can't sleep at night knowing this whole game was rigged against me.
Or what if this were happening to the Republicans? What if Reince Priebus were giving questions to Donald Trump in advance?
You know what would happen. I mean, they would call for, canceling the election. It is absurd what is going on. America has to step up. Millennials have to step up and say, you know what, you messed with us twice here with the primary and now in the general. Enough with you, Democrats. It's a corrupt party.
All right.
I think it's safe to say that no one got the questions in advance on the Republican side.
Yeah,
just judging by what we saw.
No, we didn't.
All right, Jeanine.
And that's the way it's supposed to be.
We're going to be watching your show this weekend.
When he co-hosts.
Well, it's going to be fantastic.
Of course, we're going to be there Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, you going to have a special too, both days?
I hope so.
Yeah.
He likes FaceTime.
He likes FaceTime?
He needs lots of
I'll give you all the FaceTime. Look at that smile.
There you go. All right.
I'm a little scared.
Judge, thank you very much.
Abedin, Hillary Clinton's closest advisor, confidant, and State Department Deputy Chief of Staff to sing, can make or break this election. Right now, reports are the FBI is negotiating with Uma's lawyers, stemming from her joint computer with her pervert husband, disgraced ex-Congressman Anthony Weiner. Here we go again. We are 9 days away from an election that will redefine this nation. And as I said last night, we're on the precipice of yet another constitutional crisis because of the Clintons. This time involving an alleged pedophile, our nation's top secrets, and a couple of grifters from Arkansas. Now, you already know how I feel about all this from last night's Open. The American people are entitled to know, before we go to the voting booth, what it was that caused FBI Director Comey to reopen this case. He's got to tell us what it was that he discovered, what was so big that he violated Justice Department and FBI guidelines and alerted the nation. He cannot hide behind protocol now. The justice guidelines that don't let me talk rule doesn't work anymore. The we don't comment on pending cases doesn't work anymore. There are no ethical prohibitions now. You have been invited by the target and her surrogates to release the information that caused you to reopen a closed case. If there is an indictment, Hillary is now foreclosed from objecting to such disclosure. My bet is she knows you won't release anything, but thinks that she's calling your bluff. If she really wanted to know, all she has to do is sit down with Uma and ask her. The investigation, of course, is not then compromised since documentary evidence, in this case emails, don't change. So it's time to do what you didn't do last year, a thorough, unbiased investigation, using all the tools available, search warrants, and impaneling a grand jury. No more mother may I routine. You're the one who got yourself into this mess, and now the American people are in a bigger mess. In 2013, Uma signed a document under penalty of perjury when she left the State Department that she had turned over all classified materials and she was not retaining copies. It seems that the metadata on 650,000 emails suggests otherwise. Uma also swore under oath that she searched through all her devices for anything State Department related. And she had a chance to turn things over, and she didn't. So start your negotiation there, Mr. Director. You've got her in a corner, and it's time to throw some punches. Make your deal with Uma now. If you don't, and Hillary gets elected, no one will care. Hillary will do what she's always done. She'll be appalled at Uma. She'll say she didn't know, she didn't remember, she short-circuited, she had a brain clot, she had no idea. Look, The American people are already traumatized by the Clinton scandals, and we just can't take 4 more years of them. Word is that although justice told your FBI guys to shut down the Clinton Foundation investigation, some of them kept it still going. The Justice Department is dirty, Jim, and you know it. Our Attorney General actually pled the fifth on the Iran ransom probe. And Loretta Lynch meeting with the spouse of a target, and then the target herself days later saying, I'm going to keep Loretta Lynch as my AG if I become president, is bribery, pure and simple. Jim, go back to your roots. You were once a great prosecutor. Don't let Washington ruin you, too. You need to send these Clintons back to where they came from. It's time for you to buck up, put on your big boy pants, and make a deal with Uma for the sake of this nation. You've got until Tuesday. And that's